Good morning. My name is Reggie Bray. I'm an Operations Section Chief with Pacific Northwest Team 2, and this is the operational update for Monday, September 5th. Today we're going to be talking about the fires that are in the Eagle Cap Wilderness. We'll start here with the Nebo fire. Yesterday crews continued to look at opportunities there to keep the fire from moving to the east and to the north to protect these values. The crews began working prepping the 39 road up to the Salt Creek summit, and then continued to scout and look for opportunities there on the 130 road going north. They also looked at operations to see about where the fire has come out of the wilderness, burned into some young timber stands. We call that reprod. The fire's kind of held up there, so they're looking at getting resources in on some of these ridges and seeing if there's a way to tie that back to toward the wilderness boundary to keep the fire from moving north, which would protect the values here to the north of the Nebo fire. Down here around the Lick Creek area, Lick Creek campground, these 200 road systems down to the Cloverdale Road. This would be a line that they're looking at trying to tie back in down toward the South Fork of the Imnaha River and pick that piece up down here toward the Indian Crossings trailhead, and to keep the fire from moving to the east again. Those crews are continuing those operations today. They're still, initial phase of scouting and looking and trying to find good line locations to keep that fire to minimal spread. Out in the wilderness piece, we're monitoring that by air. Yesterday, as you probably know, much of the area was covered in smoke, so we weren't able to get a lot of good look at that, but we are using some different technology with aviation assets, a couple infrared fixed wing airplanes that can fly, and we can look at that even daytime and night, so we can kind of get an idea on where that is. Right now, the plan is to keep fire as it moves up toward the Big Sheep Creek. It's kind of hung up in some rocks, and we'll continue to monitor that. Moving over to the Sturgill incident, the Sturgill and the Goat 1 and 2. We still have resources in Minam Lodge and the Red's Horse Ranch. Those individuals are continuing structure protection on those values there. Yesterday we moved the smoke jumpers that were on the east side of the Sturgill fire up to the Stanley Guard Station, and also some of them went into Minam to help with that. And we're looking at potential line locations here along the ridges that come up from, which is the Big Sheep Creek Ridge, and comes down toward the lower end of the Minam Lodge Resort, and tying that in to keep that progression of the fire stopped and moving to the northwest. We're also monitoring fire spread potential across the Minam. There's a few spots in there. If we have clean air today where we can see and safely fly aviation, we'll probably try to work some aviation assets in there along with some of the crews that are hiking down in there to take care of some of those spots. As we move up to the Goat 1 and 2, they have not moved very much. They're still pretty much secured in the basin in Upper McCubbin Creek. But there are two spots in Goat Creek that they are not showing on the map currently. But these are stuff that we have people lookouts here on Goat 1 and 2, and we're watching these to see if there's any spread. Potentially, these will be areas that we'll use some aviation on just to keep this in check for the time being. We're looking at opportunities outside the wilderness for line location as the potential for the fire to move north. And the reason for that is we want to protect the values of Bear Creek and Wallowa to keep fire spread from moving north. Right now, with the resources we have, we hope to have clean air today, and we can get a better look at those and start to develop a plan to put in place here to continue to limit the spread north. The east side of the Sturgill fire has not moved that much. we just continue to monitor that by air. And that's the end of the operational update for the fires that are in the wilderness.